What's going on, guys? My name's Cody. I am preparing for an Appalachian uh, trail through hike in 2020. I have kind of dialed in my gear and ready to do a gear review, or not gear review, but gear list for my through hike. So my gear, as far as my big three, my backpack is going to be a Hyperlight. I believe it's a Scout 3400 backpack. I've had it about a year and taken it on many trips and love the thing to death. For my sleep system, I will have this is a Dutchware Chameleon hammock with a I've got the bug net zipper on attachment for it, and then I've got some straps and some I think these are groundhog minis for my stakes. My tarp, this is a Dyneema um, tarp from Hammock Gear with doors, and then I've got this is just a little like ground cloth that I put next to my hammock to put my shoes on or my water bottles or whatever, in case the ground is saturated or whatever. For my insulation, I've got a couple of options based on what the weather's like when I start. If it's not going to be super cold, I'm going to take this. If it's going to be in like below the 20s, I'm going to take my heavier insulation. But this is a overstuffed 40-degree hammock gear underquilt that I've taken down to probably high 20s and slept fine in it. And then this is my latest edition. It is a Cedar Ridge overstuffed 20-degree top quilt with I think it's called Patchworks. I love it. It's just because it looks like a quilt and it's a top quilt. I don't know. I loved it. When I saw it, I had to get one. So that's my 20-degree quilt. I've got a 40-degree underquilt. And then if it's really cold, I'll swap that out for a 0-degree underquilt to start the trail. And then once it warms up, swap it out. So that's my big three. As far as just random things, I've got. So let's start with. I'll just go right to left. I've got my Sportiva something and other trail runners. I've got Black Diamond trekking poles for food and water. I've got a Z-Packs food bag, a MSR. I think it's a Solo. It's a 800. No, 0.8 liter pot with just your basic stuff, a lighter. I've got a cloth in there to clean and everything. And then a 3-liter knock water bag, a dirty water bag with the Sawyer, I think that's a micro filter. I've only tried it out a couple of times and I wasn't super happy with it, so I may just switch it out for the regular Sawyer squeeze. It seems like everyone always just defaults to the Sawyer squeeze, so I'll probably end up doing that. I've kind of got two ditty bags. I've got this one and then this one, which I kind of call my electronics bag. This has stuff that I don't typically use often. Well, I mean, it's got my toothbrush in there, but outside of that, I won't be using much of this. I've got a minimal first aid kit, just some Band-Aids, some Leuko tape, fire starter, and a small patch kit in there. I've got sunscreen. This is called Trail Toes. It's just to help with blisters in case those pop up. And then a couple of extra water bottle caps, ibuprofen, earplugs, and this is called it's called Tube. It's a toothbrush. It's great for weekend trips and stuff because you can refill the toothpaste with your preferred toothpaste. I don't know if it's the best thing for a through hike, so I might swap that out, but whatever, it's a toothbrush. Over here, I've got my electronics. So I've got a Anker 20K with power delivery. It's a USB Type C and a USB port, and then just a high capacity charging bank to make my charging more effective. And then I've got 3 cables. I've got a Type C to Type C, USB-A to Type C, and then USB-A to micro USB for my headlamp. This is I wear glasses, so this is a case that folds out for my glasses in case I don't need them or I'm taking them off or whatever. And then a black diamond headlamp, and then a Dyneema stuff sack to keep it dry. Z-Packs butt pad, and then my toiletries. I've just got a full roll of toilet paper, like 40 wet wipes, and deuce of spades. So that's kind of all the miscellaneous stuff. And then all of my clothing is over here. And I feel like I'm probably overpacked on clothing, but I figure better safe than sorry, and I can always adjust throughout the trail. So as far as everyday clothing, I'll be wearing a Silver Ridge or Columbia Silver Ridge long sleeve button up. I've got a pair of REI shorts. I forget what the Active Pursuit, I think, is what they're called. And then I've got, this is the only thing I haven't tested, and it's a pair of Arc'teryx. It's an Arc'teryx base layer that I plan on starting the trail with to hike as like long pants for colder weather, or if I'm like, hanging out at camp or whatever and don't want to get in my sleeping clothes, I can put that on and keep warm is my hope. And then 2 pairs of ex officio underwear. For insulation, I've got, this is probably where I'm overpacked. So I've got Smartwool gloves. These are pretty lightweight gloves, but it's just something to help. A beanie, which is going to be necessary. A Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisper jacket, and then I've got a Arc'teryx zipper jacket that's a synthetic. And I thought with that is I can wear that in the mornings or even on, typically cold mornings, cold afternoons where I'm actively hiking and sweating, but don't want to saturate my down for the evening when I'm relaxing. So I'll probably wear that the most of the time, and then wear my puffy at night just for extra warmth, is my thought. An REI hat. This is just I don't like hiking in the rain without a hat. So really that's what that's for. I don't like hats in general, but I can't hike in the rain without wearing a hat because I wear glasses and it's a mess. So that's why I have that. I've got a buff and then a couple pairs of socks. I wear in Dungy socks to help prevent with blisters. And then I've got a kind of a cushier pair for days that I'm either cold or my feet are particularly sore and I want a little extra cushion. And then this is just kind of a extra shirt, something to change into if all my other gear is soaking wet. Just something to get out of so that way I can be dry is my idea with this. But it's just I don't even remember the brand, Solomon shirt, and then a Frog Togs rain jacket is what is all my rain gear. And then this little pile is all of my sleeping gear. So I've got a stuff sack, Dyneema stuff sack from Hammock Gear that has a fleece lining. So if I want, I can turn that inside out and use it as a pillow in my hammock, which I find for a hammock, I need a very minimal amount of a pillow. So that's worked well for me in the past. But then I've got merino wool top and bottom, a thick pair of socks, and then my feet. I get poor insulation in my feet, so my feet are always cold. So I bought some Z-Packs down booties for sleeping in. So that is all of the gear that I will be taking on the Appalachian Trail starting in March. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to get out there, have an amazing adventure, and meet all these other like-minded, crazy people that have either quit their jobs or in the middle of transition in their life or whatever. I'm super excited to get out on the trail, meet a bunch of cool people, and have an adventure of a lifetime. So hopefully I'll see you guys out there. I'm starting mid-March, and happy trails.